Don't throw objects. That is the first rule. The first rule is what? Don't throw objects. Rule number 2. Don't use faulty equipment. Don't use faulty equipment. When playing games, you don't use faulty equipment. You don't throw objects into the field of play. For example, if you're playing football, you don't throw objects such as knife, such as broken bottles, and so on and so forth. Why? Because you will get what? You'll be injured. Okay? So things such as throwing objects in the field are not allowed. So these are what? The rules to be what? Obeyed. These are rules that must be what? Obeyed. Rule number 3. Put on the approved game dress or wear. Put on the approved game dress or wear. For example, let me take football. When going to play a match, a football game for instance, you put on what? The club jersey. You put on what? The club jersey to be what? Identified as a player from this team or such team. Okay? So that is what? The approved dress or wear. Okay? Now, let's proceed a bit further. Importance of safety in physical education. What are the importance of safety in physical education? Number 1, when safety rules are observed. When safety rules are observed during physical activities at home or at school, what do you gain? When you observe these rules, number 1, you gain so many things. You gain a lot of things. You gain so many things. For example, you'll be educated. Okay? You'll be educated through such rules. Number 2, injuries are what? Reduced. Injuries are what? Reduced or avoided. Injuries are reduced or avoided when dangerous objects are picked up from playground. Now let's recap one more time before we go further then. Now, how do you best define the word safety in physical education? How do you best describe the word, or how do you define the word safety in physical education? Safety in physical education simply means how we can avoid injury. How we can avoid injury while playing games in school or at home. Safety in physical education simply means how we can avoid injuries while playing games in school or at home. That is what the definition. Now, every game has its own rules. Like I earlier said, every sport or game has its own rules. Now, what are the rules of safety in physical education? Every game is guided by its own rules, and they must be what? Observed. They must be what? Observed or obeyed. Rule number 1, don't throw objects. You don't throw objects such as knife, broken bottle, broken glasses into the field of play. For example, if you're a football player, you don't throw such objects into the field of play. Number 2, don't use faulty equipment. You don't use faulty equipment. That is what? The second rule in safety in physical education. Rule number 3, put on the approved game dress or wear. You don't dress, we have different types of sports. Is it not so? When going for swimming, your dress code is different from those that play what? Soccer. So you don't take your swimming trunk to the field of play. Am I right? Yes. You don't take your swimming trunk or your swimming trunk or suit to what? The field of play. Now, what are the importance of safety in physical education? What are the importance of safety in physical education? Number one, when safety rules are observed during physical activities at home or at school, you do what? You gain so many things. You gain what? So many things. Number two, injuries are reduced. Injuries are what? Reduced or avoided. Yes. One of the importance of safety in physical education is, if not the most important to me, I think I would say that's the most important point in safety education. Is what? Injuries are what? Reduced or can be avoided when dangerous objects are picked up from playground. Alright. Now, until next time, I still remain your humble teacher, Mr. Prince Godson. Remain blessed. Bye.